like Crystal is being unfairly attacked. I feel like she's been pushed up against a corner, pushed up against a wall to kind of defend herself in a way that she normally wouldn't. And I can't believe I'm agreeing with Erica freaking Jane. I like the fact that Erica mentioned that I believe she's reacting this way, speaking of Crystal, because she's never been challenged in a peer group like this before. And I feel like that's what we're seeing. Because all throughout last night's episode, we kept hearing, oh my God, Crystal is manipulative and she wants to come across as this victim and it's going to seem like we're attacking her and everybody's coming for her and this, that, and the third. She won't stand up for herself. She doesn't want to speak up because she wants to, I guess, make it come across like everybody just wants to attack her. And my whole thing is they're trying to make Crystal adopt or adapt to this personality for reality TV that just isn't in her. Which is why I believe that this is kind of like the situation that I believe is going to be her downfall on the show. I don't think she's going to come back next season because of this particular instance, because it's coming across as Crystal is scared or she's meek or she's quiet or she's afraid to speak her mind and stuff like that. And she probably is a lot of those things. But I feel like Crystal is one of those women where after she says what she says, that's just it. It kind of felt like everybody wanted her to explain and everybody wanted her to elaborate and everybody wanted her to kind of say or be or do whatever they wanted. And Crystal said, I'm not doing that. I said what I said and that's it. But I feel like everybody just wanted more from her. And Crystal's just not giving the people what they want. And so it's coming across as like very, she doesn't know how to stand up for herself. And I don't agree with that notion. I feel like she does know how to stand up for herself, but y'all don't like the way she did it. And because y'all don't like the way she did it and it's not comfortable for you, you have a problem with it. And I feel like the audience, the viewers, are adapting that same sort of viewpoint, that same perspective. After Crystal said that she wasn't going to elaborate on the whole dark situation, that should have been it. Whether you thought that was manipulative, whether you thought it was a lie, she was lying, this, that, and the third. She said she wasn't going to talk about it. Then an episode later, she apologized. She was like, you know what? I use these big words. I'm sorry. I apologize. It won't happen again. And they're still not okay with that because I guess from their perspective, they believe that Crystal is like this manipulative being and she lost these 14 friends. I don't even know where that number came from, but apparently she lost these 14 friends in a previous friend group, and she loves to gaslight and manipulate people because she wants to be friends with the head honcho and she wants to be accepted and she wants people to like her and all of this stuff. And I'm thinking in my head, I don't really put nothing past anybody, but do I really think and believe that Crystal is concocting this whole scheme to come across as a victim? Do I think she's concocting this whole scheme to get people to like her and do all of this other stuff? No, I don't. I think that's ridiculous because I feel like if that was the case, then she would have did it a little bit different, right? And there's like a whole narrative surrounding the situation now that she sought after Sutton. She threw Sutton under the bus to gain the respect of everybody else. And I just don't really understand that. I don't really get that. I don't really think that that is what's happening here, right? I feel like that's a false narrative that Kyle and Garcelle are trying to run down to the ground on this little TV show, and I'm not going for it. I'm not going for it. I don't believe it. And the reason why I don't believe it is, well, number one, let me start off by saying I don't know if Crystal is lying or not. She says that Sutton said something dark. Now, in her brain, whatever she heard or thought she heard that came out of Sutton's mouth or maybe did not come out of Sutton's mouth, it triggered her and she interpreted that as dark. So who am I to come out and say, no, she did not say something dark? Because if Crystal feels like it was dark and if that's her opinion that whatever Sutton said is dark, then it's dark. I can't combat that. I could be like, well, I don't think it's dark. But then keyword unthink, I don't think. It's opinion based. So if it's her opinion that Sutton said something dark, then that's her opinion. Whether it was the pool thing, whether it was the I don't see color, I don't see race, I don't see this, I don't see that. That's her opinion. You cannot come back. You cannot change that, okay? So that's number one. But overall, and I feel like I'm all over the place, but overall, this whole manipulative thing, like Crystal is so manipulative and she sought after Sutton to throw her under the bus and all that stuff. That notion doesn't make any sense to me because this whole thing started off with Crystal defending Sutton. You had Kyle Richards talking about you didn't have any empathy. And Sutton was like, I did have empathy. I did feel empathy. And Kyle was like, no, you didn't. And Sutton was like, yes, I did. And so you had an instance where Kyle was combating Sutton and her feelings. And that then triggered, Crystal. And Crystal was basically like, well, Kyle, like, I kind of feel where Sutton is coming from because right now you're not validating her feelings. And I didn't feel like my feelings were validated when I said that I felt violated. Right? So she went from defending Sutton to then the next day, Garcelle talking about well, I felt like you were always going to say, Sutton, are you that girl? Are you that girl? I felt like that was a setup. A setup for what? A setup? You think Crystal is sitting around in her Disney Pixar mansion in Encino, California, coming up with plot lines to take down Sutton, to expose her as a racist? Even though another Asian young lady came out and said that Sutton was racist, but that's a different conversation for a different day. What would be the point in that? To have a storyline? Because last time I checked, you are the very same woman, Garcelle, and I've been really nice to Garcelle. People talk about her hair, people talk about her fashions, people talk about the fact that she broke us on the show. Listen, I have defended Garcelle through all of that, but right now, Garcelle, you are clicking, and you are clicking fast, and you're clicking down, sis. I don't like you no more. I don't like Garcelle no more. This is the same woman that basically, what do you call it when you call wolf? What is it called? The phrase, when basically you what is it called when you call wolf? Y'all know what the hell I'm talking about. She basically called Kyle racist. She didn't call Kyle racist, but she definitely said that Kyle was racially insensitive when she called her out for not paying at the auction, the charity auction or whatever it was. And a lot of people were like, well, if you didn't pay, you didn't pay. If you didn't pay, you didn't pay. She didn't get the check. She didn't get the check. And then you tried to play that off like, oh, it's racist, it's racist. And then the very same next season at the reunion, you were like, I don't feel accepted and I don't feel like this and I'm the only black woman and I'm the only this and I'm the first black woman and you guys don't respect me and I just don't fit in and oh my God. And everybody was like, you do fit in, you do fit in. We love you, Garcelle. You're our friend. We love you. But when it comes to Crystal, you think Crystal is just making up stuff, trying to be like a victim. And I'm like, what? How would she seek after Sutton if she was defending Sutton against Kyle? What in a day's time span would make her want to defend Sutton to then going against Sutton? I'll tell you what made her throw Sutton under the bus, quote unquote. It was Garcelle, the same lady that tried to throw Kyle under the bus for, calling out the fact that she did not pay. For calling out the fact that Garcelle might be a brokey. Garcelle is the one that asked Crystal, I felt like you set Sutton up, which forced Crystal to defend herself and basically say, well, I said that because I felt like what Sutton was saying was dark. Y'all took it upon yourselves to come up with these narratives. And y'all kept saying, Crystal, if you don't elaborate, we're going to come up with with our own narrative and we're going to fill in the blanks. That's not up to Crystal. That's up to you. If you fill in the blanks with the worst thing possible, that's not Crystal's fault. That's your fault. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about the situation. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to create a great day.